Hi, I'm Sterling Jaquith, creator of the Catholic Mom Challenge, and today we're talking about the annual planning worksheets. You can download these worksheets at CatholicMomChallenge.com, and they're going to look like this. They're two-sided, so you're going to have 7 sheets of paper when it's all done if you print them two-sided, or you'll have 14 if you want to keep them separate. Sometimes people want more room to write, so whatever you feel comfortable with. So this is the faith section, and what we're going to do in this annual planning is we're going to focus on currently your current reality, what's working and what's not working. So by the time you get to this sheet, you've already done life planning. You have a sense of kind of what you want your faith life to look like in an ideal place. But now we're going to take a look at what's been working for you and what's not been working for you. And this is a really important time to be honest with yourself. Nobody is going to look at this except you. This is only for your benefit. So dig deep and be really honest about where you're screwing things up and where you're really celebrating yourself. I think we miss it on both accounts. We downplay the accomplishments that we have and the good that we're doing. We don't give ourselves enough credit for those things, but then we also tend to ignore the ways that we're not trying hard enough. We're being lazy, we're being gluttonous, we're being slothful, prideful, and we're just kind of pretending that that's okay or it's not happening. So I want you to really own both of those things. Don't be afraid to write down all the places you're just crushing it. Like, where are you just being awesome? Acknowledge those things. Okay, it's important. And then also be honest about where you need to work harder. Okay, so you're going to do that. Then you're going to brainstorm some new habits that you can instill in your life this year. Okay, so I want you to write everything that comes to mind. This is a place where there's no judgment and you're not worried about getting it all done and balancing things. You're just kind of brain dumping everything related to the particular facet that we're working on that you could improve. Okay, so for faith, it might be daily Bible time, weekly adoration, monthly confession. Maybe you've had a dream to join one of the, lay Dominican orders. Okay, and that's a big deal and it takes a lot of work. So I know that I'm not going to tackle that this year, but I would still write that down in my brainstorming session. I know that's something I want to do and I'm excited about it. So I'm going to write it down because I'm just tossing everything out there. Okay, so you're going to spend about 5 to 10 minutes doing that. And then you're going to flip it over and you're going to choose one, maybe two habits that you want to install related to your faith life this next year. I really recommend one because if you do one for every single facet, you'll have 7. And I'm going to ask you to work on one new habit every month. And so if you were to do 2 for every facet, you'd have 14. So you'd be doubling up. And I think that's just kind of setting yourself up for failure. So the only time that I would choose 2 habits is if they were somewhat related or really, really small. For example, if you want to wake up in the morning and pray for 5 minutes and read your Bible for 5 minutes, you might talk about those habits as being different habits, reading the Bible and praying, but really you're going to do them at the same time. So I would feel comfortable tackling both of those at the same time because they're so related. But if you're talking about huge things like going from no prayer to doing a rosary every day, the Divine Mercy Chaplet every day, and then, the examination of conscience at the end of the day. Those are 3 things that are hard to really hit every single day. And so you wouldn't want to tackle all of those things at once. So pick 1, maybe 2 habits for the year, and you're going to write those down. And you're going to write down the frequency. I really recommend daily habits. I talk a lot about that in my book and why that's important. But you can choose the frequency. Next, I want you to write down the tasks you want to accomplish. And you might have thought of tasks as goals previously. In my book, I talk about why I don't like the word goals, and so I like the word tasks instead. And so these might be attend a Catholic conference, purchase a journal Bible so that you can do Bible journaling. They're very discrete tasks that you want to do. And I don't recommend choosing more than 5 for each facet, but you're going to write them down. And I want you to work as hard as possible to make them specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, and time-bound. So they're SMART tasks, okay? We used to call them SMART goals, but now we have habits and tasks. It's either something you're going to be, doing over time, or it's something you're going to do one time. So fill out the tasks that you're hoping to accomplish. And then at the very bottom, and I think this is really important that we go through this process, is you're going to write down the obstacles that you're going to face while trying to grow in this area of your life. And that may apply to the habits, or it may apply to the tasks that you're trying to accomplish. So, for example, maybe you want to go to a conference this year. And so one of the obstacles is going to be finding childcare. Maybe you need to save money for it. Maybe it's going to be traveling there. If you don't have a lot of money and it's far away, you might need to carpool and see if you can stay on someone's couch, right? But these are the things that are going to get in your way. And if you're not anticipating them, if you're not planning for these things to come up, it'd be really easy to go, well, I don't even know how I'd get there, so I'm just not going to go, right? And so instead, you want to, predict what the obstacles are, because while you're planning, you should be in a really good positive space right now. We've gotten in tune with God, and we're feeling really excited about our plans. And so I want you to look forward with a positive attitude and say, what obstacles are going to come up? How can I tackle those? Okay, so you're going to go through this annual planning process for all the 7 facets of your life before you move on to doing your quarterly and monthly plans. So we're going to talk about that in the next video.